Hi, I'm Alicia. I hope you're doing as tremendously as possible. I'm wondering if the Civil War in the United States right now will become World War III. And I don't say this just because the premiere of Strange New Worlds was talking about in that universe the U.S. had a civil war, and then it became a world war. That'll mean that. Although screenwriters are very smart, and I think screenwriters and directors are some of the most wonderful people on the planet because they have so much intellect and wisdom, and you see that through their stories. But no, the biggest reason why is because when the United States had a civil war, had their first one from 1861 to 1865, it wasn't yet the country that set the table, if you will, when it comes to foreign policy. However, that was the United Kingdom at that time. But the United States now has the most powerful country, superpower, probably the only superpower. Now that the USSR has been broken up, although China, but China's not in a civil war. Great Britain wasn't, the UK wasn't in a civil war at that time. And also, things are different these days. The world is so much more connected than at that time, than when the US had their first civil war. Obviously, with planes, trains, and automobiles, and the internet, and social media, and everything, apps. So I think it's a completely different dynamic. It's why I also think that the Civil War being fought is different than the Civil War in the 1860s, although the mass shootings going back to the late 2010s, I think, is definitely something that shows that we're in a civil war again. But along with like the longest government shutdown in U.S. history and the political violence and more. January 6th is still a recent years. But so yeah, between the U.S. being the policy setter, leading in that this time around as compared to before, the connectedness of the United States, or the connectedness of the world, excuse me, is what I meant to say, are the two leading reasons why I wonder if the current U.S. Civil War will morph into a world war.